Hello and welcome to today's show. It's time for some European Counter-Strike. We had an explosive day of Counter-Strike yesterday and we continue with more CS today in Europe and North America coming up later on. I'm joined by Dan. How are you doing, Dan?
Pretty good.
How's the arm doing?
It's getting there. It's still really weak and awful and just generally useless, but it's getting there.
So for those of you who don't know, Dan had an operation on his shoulder because he wrecked himself trying to be an Olympian on the beach.
Tore some cartilage in my the labrum.
So you had keyhole surgery?
Yeah, and there was like three anchors that they used to sort of stitch back up the cartilage.
You have pictures.
And they make the joint bleed. Because I asked the surgeon, I was like, hang on, how do you repair cartilage? I thought the whole problem is that there's no blood supply. Yeah. For those who don't know, for healing, blood supply is required, which is why stuff like connective tissues take much longer to heal than other things.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, we just rough it up, we just make everything bleed. I was like, okay, okay, that sounds great.
Surgery is gross, man. Surgery is gross. Sean, I'm sure you're doing better.
Yeah, I'm doing much better than Dan. I don't go to the gym when I'm hurt, James.
You injured yourself like 4 times in a row, didn't you? Like
Dan injured himself and then went to the gym and re-injured himself, right? I kept hearing every event you were just like, I re-injured my shoulder. Just like, dude, Dan, stop working out, dude.
Yeah.
Chill.
I don't know. I think I did something, but then I didn't do any diagnostics. I didn't know what I'd done, so I'm like, I leave it a while. Like,
just walk it off.
Probably fine. Probably fine, yeah.
Apparently it's not fine. Anyway, we've got Counter-Strike coming up for you today with fully functional human beings and semi-functional human beings. Also, his shoulder is injured. Let's have a look and see what today's schedule is, starting with European matches. We have we have 2 of the same maps coming up in match 1 and match 2. So Mirage, Cobble, Mirage. Mousesports versus Godsent. Mousesports currently ranked number 2. And Envy, who... we'll get to them in a second, Dan. Envy versus Gambit. Gambit playing their early matches here in the ECS League. So quickly, we'll start with the second batch of games. Envy are a team who are notorious for...
masochism.
For being explosive in terms of their emotion on Twitter. And their newest player, Kirishima, has joined the fray in that regard.
He's already in there.
What was he saying earlier?
Why the F are we so bad?
What?
That's
he said
on
that?
Twitter, yeah.
Kirishima,
was that yesterday he said that?
Normally it's Scream saying that kind of thing, but Kirishima's only been there for 5 minutes.
Sometimes I'm happy you just get that just sad smile.
The new guy, when the new guy on the team is tweeting that, you just can't feel very good, right?
Yeah. So, but we'll talk more about Envy when it's time for their matches. So, starting off with Mousesports versus Godsent. I mean, what do we think of this? Have you seen much of this new Godsent roster?
Yeah, I think they're really good. They're super young. I was watching a lot of their overpass. Their overpass is really structured. I haven't seen Cobble from them. Their Mirage looked alright. So, I don't know about good enough to beat Mousesports though.
What do you? Yeah, I mean, Mirage, I think is it the first map or the second map? It is the first map. Mirage, Mousesports and Mirage.
That's the thing. Like, I think before Cancun, I mean, we'd seen so much Mousesports. I think like we were watching more Mousesports probably than anyone else, and I saw like how good their Mirage was, and that is the map. That's like the map which I first looked at them, and I looked at each individual, and like everyone has like such a fitting role for this map. T side, CT side, they have so much versatility. They've got a great structure. Their mid game is really strong, and so I wasn't surprised that they went on to be an incredibly strong Mirage team. So I mean, Godsent, it's a great map typically for like a Swedish squad that wants to go out all guns blazing, but I don't know, man. There's just too much to deal with.
It's too hard to take mid.
It's too
on Mousesports. Too hard.
Well, the question is, can Godsent upset Mousesports on Mirage then? Don't forget, one of these teams might be at the finals in London. That's coming up in June. You can get some tickets as well. Wembley.csgoleague.com. You can see the link down there. Pick up some tickets, get yourself to London and join in on the fun. It's pretty crazy out there. And don't forget, drops. Gaming.youtube.com is where the drops are live. Connect your FACEIT account to your YouTube account. In FACEIT, go to integrations and make that connection, baby. Godsent starting on the CT side, so we'll have to wait to see Oscar's shenanigans on the CT side, but we'll see what Godsent have to offer us on the defense here.
Right, well, Freddy B already going to be spotting drops in the Palace. He'll lose that 1v1, but Hampus is still alive. But he now has to worry about his back, his behind, his derriere, and it will be safe for now. Hampus able to hold things down. It's actually a big struggle here for Mousesports. Oscar has to do it alone. 1v3. Definitely doable. Always doable in a pistol round. There's number 1. He's a swift second headshot. There it is, and he will fall at the final hurdle. Disco.plan will take him out, and that's the round for Godsent.
I like that. When I saw that guy push past, I was like, this is a little bit desperate. He looks really desperate for this kill. And then when I saw the guy on balcony, I was like, ooh, spicy. I did not see that coming. That was nice. That was a really good bait setup, and clearly Mousesports was caught off guard by that.
Twist, the primary sniper of Godsent, has been for a while. Obviously, when Dopplan joined the team, it was intention that he was the intention that he would be the sniper, but of course, Twist is simply better. Sunny top mid, 4 Deagles out for this Mousesports side, who've all invested in the full buy. And again, this is I always find it curious when you have a sniper with the power of, say, an Oscar, even a Chris J, or like a Cirque on NRG. For me, I always want to see them on AWP ASAP, but some teams will prioritize having everybody try to win the round in the force buy with all the equipment available to them. And that's what Mousesports have chosen to do, moving into Connector.
Ooh. Ross starts things off nicely. Sunny got tagged in the arse as he went through Connector by that scout.
In the arse.
But he will be okay. Stars will recover as Twist, Disco.plan, and Hampus will make their way on rotation. Ooh, there you go. Gets the headshot, no less. Oh my goodness. Oh no, Twist is doing so much damage. Disco will finish off the previously tagged up Sunny up to Oscar and Chris now against the remainder, which is actually just Hampus now. Can Hampus do it?
They don't know where he's coming from, but Chris J has chosen the right place to plant. The flash is in. Hampus with the Molotov. Chris J's got to move back, and as he does that, Oscar will finish things off with the rifle. And 4A4 taken into the next round. So the force buy works out for Mousesports. That was insane that he flicked through the corner of the wall for the headshot. Twist. Not enough though, unfortunately, for Godsent.
I really need to play some CS.
Yeah, seeing a team win our round with just Deagle, no armor. Just like, I want to play CS and just Deagle.
I will play CS soon. But, ooh, Sunny denied by the CZs. The pop flash that I'm not quite working out for him. Oscar now has to turn his attention to this position, as opposed to doing perhaps what he wanted, which was to pressure the Biaps a bit more. And now we've got to push through Palace from Godsent as well. So they're sort of moving all over the place with these with this force buy. And they definitely pose quite a threat. You can see Rops is expecting that there could be a push through the Palace position. It's not too uncommon.
Rops playing like Get Right would. Up on there, keeping an eye on things. There is a nice blind spot there as well. 4 players on the low ground. 1 minute's mark for Mousesports. I wonder if Oscar will give the 4A4 to somebody with the UMP.
I thought so. Did you know Brolin's only 15 years old?
Yes.
It's not insane.
He's a young'un, yeah. Lots of, I think Cirque's like 17. 15 though, at this level, it's pretty crazy. 15, yeah. That's one of the great things about, you know, the expansion of Counter-Strike, if you will, in the last few years, is that it's given more space for young'uns to come in. There are more teams, then there is space to recycle the old names, so easier for the new blood to rise. Mousesports will survive with 3 players, both rifles intact. Life is good.
Yeah, it is actually kind of an interesting talking point to imagine that maybe within like 2 to 3 years, the whole like face of the professional scene could be very different with the kind of names that we'll see.
Yeah,
that's quite a possibility.
And the thing is that the information is out there. I was actually talking about this recently.
Wow.
I think that was crazy.
Oh, I'm seeing this more and more now.
What were you saying, Sean?
Just with the amount of information that there is on like YouTube and streams. Like, say 10 years ago, Twitch streams for CSGO, or I guess just CS players, didn't exist. So there was no way for like, upper echelon players to teach new generation players unless they played with them personally. Whereas now there's YouTube content, there's Twitch, and there's ways for, you know, someone like Brolin to learn without actually having to experience being at the top level. So they can kind of integrate themselves into teams like Godsent pretty seamlessly. So
and it's cool for the pros as well with things like FPL, where you can see these players in an environment which requires discipline, but you don't have risk in a sense that Obviously, they're not playing for your team, so you can see how they play, what you think that you can teach them, and pick them up and give them a run, such as Rops.
Yeah.
In goes the set piece onto the bomb site, and there is a gap in that spot. Perhaps deliberate. You see that there is.
That's not quite gap. Then it's one on the roof, which I think was supposed to land on jungle connector. So rather than, it's more of a cavity.
Ooh, very close before that. Won't be able to defend against the jump from Sunny. And this is going very, very well for Mousesports. I wasn't exactly sure how it would end up, but the follow-through is pretty strong. We can see the Godsent sort of trickled in, as opposed to waiting out some of the smoke grenades and then taking it as a team.
Yeah, I don't think they realized there was a massive gap in those smokes. Judging by the jungle player and the stairs player, it never looked like either of them had eyes on that gap in the smoke.
Is that what the extra smoke was for? Because it was kind of...
Yeah, it was supposed to connect...
Not quite bench and not quite...
Yeah, it was supposed to connect like triple to stairs, like 2 smokes, as well as 1 on top of the stairs. So that way, you know, everything is blocked off besides CT spawn and the bomb site itself.
Could have been much worse. I unboxed one of these rifles recently, with the woman's face on the side. But she scares me. 4-1 in favour of Mousesports and Godsent. Still have Twist on AWP. Got the style points smoke into the middle area. For those of you at home, please learn any of the ways to smoke window from T-spawn. Be useful to your team. There is more to life than Ava smokes.
Just put that on a t-shirt. Freddy B in the shadow position with the P250. They're all just stepping around him. He could actually do some damage here. No one's really checked for him, and he's going to be able to get some tags onto Rops. He will eventually get taken out, but the distraction was put in place at a good timing here for Hampus. 1 dig away from a pretty catastrophic round for Mousesports. See if they can somehow make this work. The bomb tossed away as Oscar is able to continue sniping, and that is exactly why you don't want him going forward with the bomb, able to do is continue damage towards that ticket position with the AWP. Ooh, it's a nice frag, but is there any hope here for Godsent?
They must feel that, I mean, do they want to... Surely they can buy it together if they save these 2 rifles. There is certainly a decision to be made here. And, well, Dopplet does have a kit. Well, they could buy together regardless, so there it is. Not that much to lose for Godsent. Unable to do it, though. Can they get another round on the board here?
Money on Mousesports is actually getting outrageous. They've got to be very careful. It's always interesting when you see like the 5-1 where the T's have, you know, almost no money versus the 5-1 where they have like everyone's got like 10k. There's a very different tale told there.
This is going to be very hard for Godsent to get back in this game. After stringing together quite a few rounds here.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous situation.
You feel like Mousesports would have to make a series of errors from a calling perspective to allow them back in at this point.
Oh, Hampus is at the point of no return, point of not firing your gun. Had no idea what was coming. And that might be safe territory already. It probably should be for Godsent. Retaking 3 versus 5 is surely suicide, but Twist is still holding his angle with no cover towards the door, so... That was unfortunate to watch. And again, I think it's one of those situations now. I mean, they're at max loss bonus because they won a pistol, so hold on to 3 rifles and you can buy again.
He could defuse his bomb.
Oh!
Just kidding.
Banged out.
Almost.
You reminded me earlier when you were talking about sort of the proliferation and accessibility to information that we have these days of the poker scene and how that sort of developed from the poker boom around the 2000s. Because it got to a point, like in the very early days, all the professional players were sort of branching out, doing some coaching, and there's some training sites, but they were like very hard to get onto. And people were very protective of information. They tried to make sure that no one could leak any of the training videos and that all the information was hidden as possible. To make sure no one else was making money except for them. And then eventually when all the information got out and the gambling laws changed, the game was so hard these days.
Yeah, I don't play poker anymore. I used to love playing poker because no one knew how to play.
Now it's so hard.
Everyone knows how to play. Everyone knows the odds. Everyone knows the math behind.
Come to Vegas, mate. I know where the plebs are.
Yeah, that is true.
I know where the plebs
Front of
are.
Bellagio. They are terrible.
At the win, $25,000 guaranteed on the weekends. $200 rebuy. Plebs. Believe it or not.
MGM poker room. Fish galore.
Yeah. They'll call you, so it's good. You just need to.
Just waiting to get in the
Need that
Hakkasan.
lap to not get outdrawn, and you're good to go.
Yeah, down next time we go.
Pistols for Godsent. Waiting to see what they can do. Of course, this is a half buy. They'll be on the full buy next round. This is still a dangerous situation for Mousesports. 1 for 1. Stico on 1 HP. Okay. Now, I would say Godsent are likely to win this round. The Deagles just keep on firing.
Ooh.
The plan. Finish off the job here. An unlikely round for Godsent. They managed to rescue 2 rifles as well, some bonus money for them. But now Mousesports can rebuy instantly. Oscar going for the AWP, and he can buy another one next round if he needs to as well.
Right, this is going to be fun to see how Mousesports decide to approach this one. Again, they got all that money, so there is some level of security. The mid push comes in, and Mousesports are, as far as position goes, in a good spot to defend against it. They're usually pretty good at crossing their T's and dotting their I's when it comes to anticipating and handling this kind of play, but Sunny's going to get caught out. The trade comes in from Stico. Hampers may want to go for another aggression, though, to double down on this mid-control play and make sure that Mousesports cannot have this position. But in the meantime, Mousesports are pressuring towards the B apartments. They were also trying to pressure up A slope, so pushing all the buttons at once are Mousesports, and it's working out.
There is the bomb. Twist rotating from the connector position. They can get there in time to help Roland. Roland can throw out a smoke to try and help him get out of the door, but Oscar's already in a very strong position, so Roland's very likely screwed here. Twist moving up the short position, so Roland trying to run distraction as much as he can. Throwing a Molotov towards Cat, and that's a nice shot from Stico.
What is that?
Didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do that either.
Can we get that again? I don't know if we can, if it's too late already, but be cool to see Stico's angle there in the slow-mos. Oh my god, that's so cool.
It's so deep into the box.
Yeah, it reminds me of the one in Dust 2 on the A bomb site when you're the CT looking towards Cats and you're on the slope next to the box. And there's like a tiny gap. You can
Oh,
close,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
talking like a pixel gap.
I don't know if he could see him.
Oh, you don't think so?
I'm not sure.
I
I haven't really looked at that angle before. I looked through the box, but I don't know.
That's interesting. Well, anyway, Oscar looking for a pick up the slope, and will we get the snap? Snappity snap. To the left. To the left. Oh no. It's gone
Okay,
all wrong.
Beyonce.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, that's another. I mean, that was quite the round. It was brief, and that took a lot of money away from Mousesports. Oscar still got 10k, but now he's got to drop for some teammates if they do choose to buy. They're probably doing the maths. Out come the weapons. Oscar's like, I'm buying AWP. There it is. Maybe he'll drop on a weapon afterwards. Indeed he will. So away they go again, Mousesports. Now, can we see some momentum here from Godsent? Not afraid to continue the aggression. Stico could be taken by surprise. Freddy B will think better of it. Maybe because of the grenade towards connector very early on from the T side. They look to split A.
And Mousesports are a pretty good team to study as far as the mid-control goes. That's a great pick from Oscar, waiting for the delayed peak. Freddy perhaps maybe thinking that he could have caught them on the move across, repositioning, but his timing was not fortunate. But Mousesports are a good team to study as far as mid-control goes, just because they do things in a fairly safe and structured way. And so even if the enemy knows what they're doing, it's somewhat difficult to really abuse. So it does make them a good model and barometer as to how to deal with mid-control as the T side. And now they have mid-control. We'll see how they set up the 5v4 that they have. They've got a player on Palace and Slope. So the split is set up. A man on Catwalk as well. In comes the push.
Double peek towards the shadow position. Brolan, I think his rifle exposed his position there, because if you do stand in the corner, you are completely hidden from Palace. 2-on-2. Flashbang's good for Doppland to get 1 kill. Twist will trade at the end. An expensive round for both sides, but no plant from Mousesports, and maybe the well has run dry.
Yeah, another 4K from just good offline. He's playing really well. He saved him that round for sure. And you can see, like Dan was saying, Mousesports is like roles, I guess you would call them. Like how Oscar's going up catwalk, basically holding ticket as 2 guys run up the right side connector. So that way everything, with a jungle smoke, so everything is to their left. They're running up, just only worried about what's on their left. But what happened is Disco swung off cat, ended up killing Oscar. So then they have to worry about what's behind them plus what's in front of them. And that's what caused the whole round to just go haywire.
It was otherwise definitely a pretty good... But they just set up everything so well.
Just the hops everywhere.
Yeah, dude, you can't get away from them.
I like the angle held by Twister. I think that's cool for people at home who are coming in for the retake as CT, where Twister's just holding the angle so he knows if any T's cross towards the bench position or stops them, which is a lot of information for his team as they move out into the site. So for those of you on a retake, if you get there early enough, nice angle to hold. He's got a big window as well, so it's not the most difficult of shots to land if somebody tries to run past.
Do you think he put a 1 before his alias? So like, if there's another Hampus, that person has to do 2. Like, what if Nico was like 1 Nico? Second Nico would have to go 2, right?
There's only 1 Hampus. Look at UK football chart. The bomb's on the floor in the A bomb site. Freddie B making a play around that bench position. No Molotov this time. And that's why you see Molotovs from a better equipped team towards that position to stop those kind of plays. He's picked off eventually rather, but only after 2 kills. Speaking of 2s, drops with 2 HP moving into the Palace, and Sonny's got to be the playmaker now.
This is really interesting from the perspective of having like well over a minute to try to do this. It looks so hopeless with the bomb being as lost as it is, but there's a world where Rops or Sonny finds this timing where one of the Godsent players sort of is moving out of position or is sort of turning away, because we can see there's a lot of movement from Godsent. The bomb hasn't changed where it is, but they themselves have repositioned 2 to 3 times in the last 20 seconds. So it's now they finally decided to go for a very, very passive and safe setup. They've got Brolin with eyes on the bomb and support from Ticket. So this is a really nice and safe way to do it from Godsent. It's going to be interesting to see whether Mousesports can somehow find their way onto a plant. It seems very unlikely. They have 1 smoke, though.
Rob saw 1 player moving towards or beyond triple. So that's some information for the team. And now Sonny has to identify where these players are. But 15 seconds to find 3 people. Rob's forced to move out, running distraction now. And he will go down. And Sonny won't get anything out of that. Twist flying around the corner of the AWP. And the 2 sniper rifles are retained by Godsent, who start to build money now. That was a buy round from Mousesports, so they're broke once again.
Let it be known, Twist is still ridiculously good at this game.
Yeah.
Just because he's in Godsent, like, and not in NIP or some other top Swedish team doesn't mean he's not an absolute monster. He's so good.
Yeah, the individual skill on this team is actually a bit nuts. Disco is so good as well. Oh, and here he goes. Straight up middle with the aggression, and they will cut down the pistoling players of Mousesports. There's not too much that they can accomplish in this round. Oscar will try to push forwards with an eagle, but he'll get denied as well. 7-7, and Godsent have done a great job coming back into this one. Once again, Mousesports set up some great rounds, but Godsent's individual peaks have been definitely troublesome for Mousesports.
Yeah, I was actually taking note. Oscar had, I think, 19 kills on the 10th or 11th round. So he's been a little bit quiet these last couple rounds. He started off really hot.
That's crazy, but I feel like the CT side is his stronger half on Mirage. So there are many dangerous rounds to come. He's piping hot already. Freddie B is enjoying his time in the middle area. He's been running up and down towards top mid. There are flashbangs in. And Sonny will get annihilated. Stico spotted top mid now, but this is a dangerous duel for him. Can be picked by more than 1 person. Freddie looking for the traitors, but Oscar will take him away.
That underpass peak is so annoying and scary to deal with. If you get the timing right. And I mean, at least this is a better position than Mousesports found themselves in at the previous round where they were sort of 2v3, the bomb lost in the middle of the A site. It's a 3v4, so it's not too bad. They've got a smoke and 2 Molotovs. Obviously, the double orbs pose a pretty massive threat when you've got so few players and so little utility. I think the orbs become so strong. And we'll see perhaps Hampus will get an easy kill onto Oscar, walking straight into his crosshairs, and it's so hard to predict that. A 2v4 now for Mousesports as they try to somehow salvage this last round of the first half. Seeker will make his way up the stairs, he'll get spotted out, fragged out, and now Rops is the last hope. He's the last Jedi.
1 versus 4 with 25 seconds. Do not fancy his chances. Hampus knows how difficult the situation this is, but he'll get tapped out. You don't want to give Rops too many opportunities. You need to kill the time here, or kill Rops, and Twist will do that. He's got somewhere to be, so you'll take him out. Oscar 20 for 9.
That's pretty nuts. This position is so good. Like, what do you think of that, Sean?
Yeah, it's a super annoying position, especially when you have a guy in window, you have the flash prime that just blows up like right behind him.
Oh god, yeah.
It's so hard to deal with something like that.
PT50, yes. Give me the PT50s. Oh, nice. We get 2 PT50s.
I'm a huge fan of the P250.
I often buy one and drop one in the T-pistol.
Giving man.
I think it's so good.
No smokes.
No smokes, but 4 Kevlars and 2 P250s.
It's always hard to go A with no smokes because it's like, where do you plant? You would have to plant default for spawn, right? So otherwise you die from cat or jungle.
Twist sowing the seeds of doubts in the Mousesports defense. Fired a couple bullets. Now he's chilling out. What does it mean, James? What does it all mean?
Have you ever planted a seed then? Or?
Yeah, I think I grew some watercress one time, then I ate it after it was grown.
Sounds fantastic.
It was delicious. I like watercress.
Yeah,
1 minute
watercress
mark.
are very good.
Enough about watercress, guys. I didn't ask your opinion, sure. Moving into the A site now, and Sunny's been picked off by the P250 towards jungle, or jungle if you're Swedish. Oh, but there's no cover for Dopplan. He has been betrayed by his team, and Rops tries to continue these duels with the bomb carrier. Got to be careful of the palace position, but patient taps will yield results. 2 versus 3 now. Oscar hopping in the window, hopping out again. The numbers are even. Chris J getting double peaked. Trying to wallbang with the USP. That's a tall order. All these players with Kevlar, it will be about the headshots. Nice snap there from Chris J. Now it's Chris J and Twist. P250 versus USP. No range advantage for either one. Both dancing around for the reloads. And it's Chris J with the snaps.
Chris J's his
Chris
pistol. His pistol work is actually so insane. I think like the same skill set on pistols and tapping with a rifle is just the same thing basically. He's so good at it. And also with the USP too, I think a lot of players tend to forget to create spots where they can more effectively counter strafe with the USP because it's actually rewards your aim quite more reliably than the Glock. So the first bullet's so strong.
Remember how dominant Chris J was like 4 years ago? He was like Nico. He was insane. I mean, now he's so much more polished as like an in-game leader. He doesn't really play as aggressive, but he's still insanely good. We were talking about it yesterday, actually.
You never know when he'll just win a round by himself. He really can.
Yeah, Trainer's a great map to watch Chris J on the T side, but now he leaves most of the explosions to Oscar. Who's taken the reins. That's why my Mousesports, I have a Mousesports cannon. I have an AWP redline with Mousesports stickers, but I won't put Oscar or Chris J's stickers on there because I feel like it has to be both or neither.
Why are you playing favorites with Mousesports, James?
Huh?
Why are you playing favorites with Mousesports?
That said, on my AWP Lightning has an Oscar sticker on it because it goes perfectly with the lightning at the back of the gun.
Fanboy, James.
Absolutely. Oscar's a beast.
I do remember you saying you like some Mousesports.
They've often been fun to watch. Haven't always been fun to watch. sets of maps, but Old Dust 2 was a favourite on the T side. Just their use of utility and flashbangs, all the angles, you just feel like you get a strong pick, they would blind you on every single one. Now Freddy B's in a predicament. He has 20 seconds to find 2 players who opts for the Desert Eagle over the FAMAS, which he also can.
Feels good looking back at, like, if they look back at that map and like, wow, our 2 A players won that round. Woo!
What do you do about it?
JW level plays.
They're both dead and they didn't even see anyone.
GG. That's like the worst feeling ever.
No bullets fired.
You're blindfolded, your hands tied behind your back. Nothing you can do. Prisoner of Oscar and his... We understand.
Freddy B has 1 minute and 5 to try and reload. Rops can't get close enough. Pre-fire from both players, but Rops will prevail. It will allow Freddy to go no further. Round number 10 for Mousesports.
Why does the woman on the gun scare you, James? What is that about? Is there a story there?
She's got big eyes.
Big eyes. I've got big eyes. Doesn't make a person scary, James.
Were you complimenting the hey guys girl for having big,
Yeah,
gorgeous
you
eyes
were.
yesterday?
I didn't say big eyes, I said gorgeous eyes.
But surely bigger is better. We are in America, come on.
If you like big eyes, Dan, that's cool, man.
So are gorgeous eyes small?
It's the colour of the eyes that I was referencing, not the size of the
You're
eyes.
talking in circles, James.
I don't take tape measures and measure people's eyes. Dan, if you like big eyes, that's cool, man. You should watch some anime. You probably have a waifu pillow.
I can imagine Dan sleeping with a waifu pillow.
Oh, there it is.
I bet it's comfortable. Oh. Easy force eco. Just gonna run by. Well, it's just there's actually a chance for some additional damage here for Godsent. We see I think a forward smoke there, so more space created for Disco Dog, and you can see how effective that smoke actually is. It creates a huge amount of space for him, and with the smoke in front of the window, we'll see if Bronner could have won that fight. Maybe there's a chance to do something more, but Sunny shuts it down. 11-8 is the score for Mousesports now, as they look quite formidable on the CT side. Their money's starting to build, and Oscar is a happy man. He's got an AWP.
It's crazy. Remember when we were watching those Mousesports games yesterday and Sunny and Chris J were just destroying everyone? And now they're just bottom fragging, and Mousesports is still doing fine because Oscar stepped up today with Robs.
Chris J's going for the negative.
Yes! Make it happen.
Oh, get out of the way! He got blocked. What does he do now? His opportunity's gone. I think he wanted to spray through the smoke before they got to top mid, but his teammate blocked him.
Oh no.
And now it's all gone wrong.
He's so dead. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Oh, yes! Oh!
Yes!
Oh, no! That's really annoying. I wanted to see, why is Oscar getting in the way of the window? He's going to get smoked off. Get out of the way. He was denied, man.
To be fair, Oscar did basically kill 2 people through the smoke and mids. No. Can't really believe we had to relive that emotional moment.
Do you think he yelled suppressing fire?
Suppressing
I hope so. Suppressing fire! Gotta do it in an American accent.
Oh my god, they are just getting absolutely bodied. It's almost as though they just have Glocks and no armor. Running up mids, getting outplayed by Mousesports. And now what do you do? Now what do you do? What would you do? Tweet James Bardov.
Well, this is going to be a long round. Mousesports can hold formation. There's no need to push. I'm sure many people at home would start searching now, start running around. But with so much time on the clock, it is not necessary to do such a thing. And with 2 players, they might still make a play. Especially with so much time on the clock, they may feel compelled to. Mousesports with basically 3 people towards B, so they are expectant of a play here. They will retain their formation. So, like in this situation, you know, you may feel like, oh yeah, let me just go and hunt these players and stuff. But like if you go T-spawn or something and you weaken a place elsewhere, maybe they get a bomb plant that they wouldn't otherwise get. Twist on his zone now. Here's the spray, looking for Stico, and he finds him. And Chris J is there to trade. Showing the importance of retaining that formation, having the personnel in the right place to finish off the job. And that, no plant for Godsent. As you can see, they really needed it. They're on eco now.
I was surprised he had the discipline to just stay zoned in on the van right there. Because wasn't Chris J spamming the wood? It's like he just completely ignored Chris J. I'm going to go kill Stico.
Okay, trying to get some info on middle, and nothing much going on. Mousesports are going to exploderize, as James would say, on that B-bomb site, where there's only Stico, and he's got an MP9. Could
Ooh, I
be
love
a problem.
the blue smoke. That must be for the market.
If he gets some money timing on the HE grenade, Stico that is. Oh, he does as well. So he's done a lot of damage to soften them up for the MP9. Oh, additional tags. Stico has done a huge amount of damage. Wow.
Twist and Hampus remain. Can they get the bomb? It's looking less likely, and now Hampus is the only one standing. They may start to push him. Ooh, that's a nice shot to Rops, and he's good for 2. No time to reload though, can't get around the corner again. And there's round number 13 for Mousesports. No plant for Godsent, but ooh, crikey, that's not a good situation, is it?
Hate to see it. Full eco.
Full eco at round 23. You're down 4 rounds. Lovely. Lovely.
I did really like that exit that they just did. Honestly, Stico did a really good job of stopping. The smoke to the market window, really strong, because that's basically stopping the rotate. So you're basically guaranteeing yourself, you know, 1-on-5 in the B bomb site. Just they pushed the smoke, they had to push it on Cat, who was really patient. And then
what is going on in this round?
Yeah, this is kind of crazy, actually.
Seems right, they know where Rops is. Throwing the Molotov will be quite a nuisance to players like Kevlar. Ooh. Does he hear the dink in that situation? Well, there is no dink because he's got no helmet, so suppose not. Chris J pushing for the information now. They kind of need to with only 3 players remaining for Mousesports.
Godsent trying to exercise patience, trying to use the time in the round, but they've not predicted correctly, because there goes Chris transferring onto Freddy B without any trouble, and that leaves Disco drop plan. He can very well get the kill here, and there it is, but unlikely to be able to get too much more. The bomb is lost in middle, has to go recover that. And oh my god, okay, the PT-50's doing some extra work. Bomb comes out. Oh my god, that was a solid chance at the end there, somehow. But it will be the 14th round for Mousesports as Godsent now get the full buy-in. And it's got to be now or never for them.
That was a smart little juke. Just running into the window, making those steps, jumping out immediately, getting that one-on-one.
What a player. Okay, mid, push again. And Oscar's ready. Every time we see fast mid, Mousesports to be very strong. Rops spinning around like a turret sentinel on the A bomb sites. And it's going to be an easy cleanup for Mousesports. These explosive rounds have generally been going Mousesports' way.
Yeah, they haven't. They've tried that weird, I guess, 2 mid, 3 A split, kind of similar to the one Cloud9 ran at the major. They've tried it a couple times now, and they just gotten shut down. Mousesports is just completely destroying them in mid. The A guys just, that time they actually tried to get out A. The other time they didn't even try because the guys mid just got spammed through the smoke.
That 180 from Robs.
That was
satisfied.
That was just pure individual skill.
Oscar looking for that 30 bomb. He's 1 kill away. Boom. Boom. That was glorious. Glorious like Bobby Roode. 2 scouts on the Godsent team. 2 Deagles and an AK-47. This is less than ideal. And based on what Mousesports have been doing on Godsent's full buys, what can we expect? And a round such as this. Twist always dangerous. But we're asking for a lot here from Godsent. This is the first of 2 maps between these 2 teams. Cobblestone comes after the break, should that come soon. Or otherwise.
After the break.
Ooh, Hampus, please.
It's not the first time he's done that Deagle of his. He's getting toasty in connector. Freddy B is about to make it. He's about to turn up the heat even more. Perhaps they can get the peak on. He's being spotted out though. Goes for the engagement. He'll be sorely disappointed with the results as now Mousesports take a lead on men, and Godsent are sorely lacking in positioning on the bomb site for a bomb plant. It's a really big issue now, and they've got no grenades, so they have to just win by just fighting, and Mousesports are happy, more than happy, to fight.
There it is, 16-9, Mousesports in control for a lot of that Mirage. It was a good start by Godsent, but ultimately, would you bet against Mousesports on Mirage? With Oscar, I aren't think that.
Such a memer.
Can't help myself. I love me some HLTV.
Well, it sort of ended up going the way we expected. I felt like it would have been much, or it could have been much more dominant. I think when we saw the initial response from Godsent, when we saw Disco Doppler stepping up towards Catwalk, he started the ball rolling for some more individual plays, and they had a really respectable first half, as you can see in the scoreline here in the replays. But ultimately, I think we saw Mousesports just winning a lot of these fights over middle, which was sort of what we anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, I actually thought Godsent did a great job bringing it back first half. When we saw their economy, you know, 5 rounds in, I thought it was just going to snowball out of control. Godsent did a really good job grinding back that 8-7 half. But yeah, I mean, Mousesports CT side is just too good. I don't know of a team that could lose pistol and walk away with a positive half on T side of Mirage against.
Yeah, you can't stop Oscar, then you don't stand much of a chance on Mirage. Cobblestone is going to be map number 2 between these 2 teams. That's coming up in just a few minutes. We will see you back here after the break.